What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. All right, today we're about to get into another episode of Casual Geographics. This episode, ruining your favorite animals for 10 minutes straight. All right. Oh, it sounds promising. It sounds funny. Let's get into it. Let's see if he can really ruin every possible animal. Let's go.
Most disturbing animal fact based on your favorite animal. Dogs are actually fourth on the list of the world's most dangerous animals because they take 25,000 souls a year. Also, they like squeaky toys because it reminds them of the pain cries of their struggling, dying prey, and that is low-key psychopath energy. People
He basically just said every dog in the world is a serial killer. Oh my god. I'm gonna love this. This is hilarious.
Their struggling, dying prey, and that is low-key psychopath energy. People often wear backwards masks to discourage tiger attacks, but it turns out these roid keys are catching on to this trick. We're accidentally helping tigers to become better at calling our bluff, and when they do, they're gonna stat pat on a disrespectful level. If you disturb a mother hedgehog even slightly, she'll buffalo bill her own children and then eat them like buffalo wings. Giraffes.
Jeez, wait, what? Eat them like buffalo wings.
They're gonna stat pat on a disrespectful level. If you disturb a mother hedgehog even slightly, she'll buffalo bill her own children and then eat them like buffalo wings.
If you disturb her even slightly, so just mess up her flow a little bit, she's just gonna murder her. Like, nah, abort. They're gone.
Giraffes have been known to decapitate lions with a well-placed kick, and if they can do that, they can airmail your skull halfway across the Serengeti. Male.
Damn. Now, I've seen videos of giraffes stomping out lions, but you're telling me that there's a footage of a giraffe kicking the head of a lion clean off? I want to see that. Show me that video.
Kick, and if they can do that, they can airmail your skull halfway across the Serengeti. Male horses will bully and beat any pregnant mares around them to force them to miscarry, and then proceed to give them the 20-inch flesh thermometer. Elephant.
Oh my god. 20-inch flesh thermometer. Let's give this man a round of applause for the wordplay. If anything, that's going to keep me coming back.
And then proceed to give them the 20-inch flesh thermometer. Elephants have been known to get wasted off of fermented fruit and go on a rampage that is the equivalent of ghost riding a 13,000-pound assault vehicle. In 1970,
Jeez.
Before a group of intoxicated elephants destroyed several buildings and erased 5 people. Comment your favorite.
So elephants would get drunk and just trample everything, huh? I guess that's what they do. That's what they
Destroyed
can
several
do.
buildings and erased 5 people. Comment your favorite animal. Let's see if I can ruin them for you too. The darkest fact about your favorite animal. Sloths have to risk their life every time they poop. They only drop the kids off once a week, so when they do, it can be a third of their body weight. Not only is it like birthing an anal baby, half of sloth deaths are a result of them getting clapped while dropping deuces like Elvis. You should never kiss your bearded dragon because they can be a major source of salmonella, and you won't know they have it until they give it to you.
Wait, why would anybody even kiss their their lizard? The fact that you got to put that out there as a warning just says something about humanity in general. You would never have to warn me not to kiss a lizard. Like, don't do this because you ain't gotta worry about it. It wasn't even a thought in my mind.
And you won't know they have it until they give it to you. If these guys go extinct, it'll be because of cheese. There's 2 cheese factories in Longtong National Park, and the yak and cows that supply it outcompete them so badly that they end up starving. And if that doesn't happen, they can get ripped apart by farmers' dogs. The soft-shelled turtle will bite and refuse to let go. One confused a man's love noodle for a worm, clamped down on it, and refused to release its vice grip for several minutes. The peacock's biggest...
Whew. Oh god, that sounds painful. Now, the real question is, how the hell did he find himself in that position in the first place?
Dogs. The soft-shelled turtle will bite and refuse to let go. One confused a man's love noodle for a worm, clamped down on it, and refused to release its vice grip for several minutes.
How do you get yourself in that position? At that point, that's one of those situations where I always say, that was your fault. You don't get no sympathy because there's no way that you should have put yourself in a position where a soft-shelled turtle could do that to you.
Vice grip for several minutes. The peacock's biggest flex is also its greatest downfall, because looking like a carnival parade in a jungle is the best way for this to happen. There's so many more females than males because males usually get killed trying to impress them. They can also be vicious. One killed a man in Thailand after slashing him with his claws and putting him in a coma. When times get tough, the red fox will cannibalize its own babies. Since platyvenom is stronger than morphine, it can cause you pain for weeks, even months, and no amount of Robitussin will get you right. The most disturbing fact about your...
Now, as far as the animals eating their own babies, there's a lot of species that do that, so that never surprises me. How about throw another one? But some of these other facts, I'm like, yeesh.
Favorite animal. Penguins have no rules. They'll assault females, underage chicks, and even the dead homies with zero hesitation. Even a dead penguin lying with its eyes half open can be a victim of the tuxedo chicken's depravity. Every possible sex crime, they commit it. Cats are impulsive killing.
It's the wordplay for me, bruh. Like, we get it, but man.
Sex crime, they commit it. Cats are impulsive killing machines that are one of the few animals that take lives for fun. Meaning if you put them in the wild, these stat-padding sociopaths would squad wipe entire species. Male red squirrels are vicious baby-killing cannibals that'll murk entire families just so they can be the one to replace them. Koalas sleep 18 to 22 hours a day. While they're awake, they spend what little energy they have cosbying each other and spreading a devastating form of chlamydia, because to a koala, consent is a social construct and they do not live in a society. Lionesses usually...
Jeez. Alright, at this point, you tell me, how many animals have been ruined for you?
construct and they do not live in a society. Lionesses usually have multiple cubs, so she only has one. She'll return, ship it back to the heavens, and try again. And just so the resources don't go to waste, she'll probably eat it. Since Simba was an only child, that's probably how that movie would have ended. Dolphins are sadistic, bullying water Weinsteins that torture and maim for fun, but that's not the disturbing fact. The disturbing part is that they're basically the humans of the sea. Ain't that some Comment your favorite animal so I can ruin them for you too. Animal
Father Stu is a real journey of a real guy.
When you call it
facts that you're not gonna believe.
The dolphins are basically humans of the sea. Yeah, I believe that. Dolphins be doing some things.
Animal facts that you're not gonna believe until you Google it. Tiger legs are so strong they can remain standing even after retiring from life. I mean dead. They can stand while dead. If they weren't metal before, they're just disrespectful now. Koala fingerprints are virtually identical to that of a human's, so much so that they can confuse investigators at a crime scene. Which means in the entire history of mankind, there has to have been at least one person that lost their freedom because a koala framed them. Probably not, but it's possible. You don't want to eat ice in Antarctica. 3% of the ice in the glaciers is penguin pee. Unless you believe you can fly and you're into that. Frogs are physically incapable of vomiting. If they tried to, they'd basically spit their entire stomachs out of their mouth. Basically, its stomach will get pulled inside out and dangle from its mouth. Animal facts that you're not going to believe until you Google it. Chimpanzees in Uganda have been known to get turned off alcohol from breweries and proceed to kidnap and eat human babies. Because for some reason, chimpanzees will confuse human children with the red colobus, which is one of their favorite things to eat. If you see giraffes getting freaky, there's a 90% chance it's between two guys. Although I assume some of this is consensual, and proceed to kidnap and eat human babies. Try to, they basically stomach will get pulled inside it. Chimpanzees in Uganda have been known to get turned off alcohol from breweries and proceed to kidnap and eat human babies. Because for some reason, chimpanzees will confuse human children with the red colobus, which is one of their favorite things to eat. If you see giraffes get...
Ow! But still, keep your babies away from chimpanzees. But I shouldn't have to say that. But we all know how this world works. We have to say that.
Getting freaky, there's a 90% chance it's between two guys. Although I assume some of this is consensual, most of the time it's an older giraffe trying to assert his authority on a younger giraffe male, like a long-necked Sandusky. Giraffes are very gay, and if they had Twitter, half of them would get canceled for grooming. This crab can growl, and they do it by using the teeth in their stomach. Basically, they grind the teeth in their stomachs to create a sound that intimidates predators and enemies. They're called ghost crabs because they can blend perfectly in the sand. If an alligator and a manatee pull up on each other underwater, the alligator will give the manatee the right of way. The manatee will gently bump and nudge the gator, and the overgrown murder gecko that strikes fear in the hearts of anyone that isn't in Florida politely moves out the way. Alligators have no regard for human life, but they do care about the sea potato. Most disrespectful acts of nature. When young bull elephants are angry, they emasculate rhinos. I don't know where they got this behavior from, but this is one of the most brutal acts of degradation my two eyes have ever seen. You can't see it, but if you look into the rhino's soul-sapped eyes, you can tell that this isn't the first time he's been backdoored, and it won't be the last.
That's foul. Poor rhinos. Elephants just being disrespectful. Brutally disrespectful.
This is the first time he's been backdoored, and it won't be the last. The macaque will follow the giant purple squirrel so they can lead him to the coveted jackfruit. They repay this gesture by open hand slapping the squirrel dead in the face. These monkeys use a 5-fingered vibe check to get the squirrels to run off so they can steal the fruit for themselves. And the purple squirrel who just got pocket checked out of his own fruit only gets what remains the monkey leaves behind. Like the tax system, but with hands. Hippos have by far one of the most disrespectful flexes in nature. To impress females and embarrass rival males, the hippo will helicopter their tails and proceed to projectile shit all over the place. Man's literally
What the hell?
competition. Because in hippo society, machine gunning the pasty fermented grass you ate last night is the best way to impress the glories of the world. The female will return the favor by dropping a deuce on the head of the guy she's flirting with. There are some kinks in the world that need to be shamed, and this is at the top of the list. Darkest
No comment on that one. Just wow. Like, that was the best y'all could do at coming up with mating habits. Evolution, I swear.
top of the list. Darkest fact about the cutest animals. Sea otters will 50 shades baby seals with a capital R. This non-consensual BDSM ritual involves the otter mauling the seal pup's face, just like they do to females, because this is the look of a furry Cosby. The mother tamarin will erase her own baby if she thinks it's a lost cause. This late-term abortion attempt involves either yeeting it out of a tree or biting its skull and eating part of its brain. If an emperor penguin loses her chick, she'll kidnap any unaccompanied minors and raise it as her own. For about 2 days. Because in a couple days or even a few hours, she'll get bored and abandon a chick to expire in the air-conditioned cemetery they call home. The pufferfish is toxic enough to put 30 men in headlines, and there's no antidote. If one catches you slipping, your only option is to get right with the higher being of your choice before you choke on your own vomit or your heart decides to retire. Hamsters will hibernate when they get cold, which leads them to get buried alive by stupid children that don't know any better. Also, they can be baby-killing cannibals. Speaking of F them kids, the coot will brutally delete its own children if they ask for food too often. Not even kidding, once they get tired of hearing the chicks beg for food, they snap their necks. They just wake up one day and choose spawn wipe. Here's some animals that you did not know were cannibals.
Hallelujah.
Hi there. Rise and shine, metalhead. We've got
Prairie dogs will delete the babies of their relatives to lower the
Oh,
competition. For food, they
let's
snap
back
their
that up.
necks. Delete its own children if they ask for food too often. Not even kidding, once they get tired of hearing the chicks beg for food, they snap their necks. They just
Like, literally, like, your own kids. They want food, too much food. You over here kill them. Like, what kind of crazy bird?
wake up one day and choose spawn wipe. Here's some animals that you did not know were cannibals. Prairie dogs will delete the babies of their relatives to lower the competition, which I guess is fine. But these prairie puppies take it a step further by eating the children they just spawn wiped. Mother hedgehogs will make a pack out of the pincushion she calls children. They do this when they sense a disturbance, which is a little bit of an exaggeration. They go from 0 to life sentence if they don't like the weather. This one's actually kind of sad. Polar bears will cannibalize each other, and it's low-key our fault. Because climate change isn't opt to polar bears, they wake up and decide to smoke polar packs. But for real though, it's actually a problem, because they usually go after cubs. Like, there are pictures of polar bears holding disembodied cub heads, and I'm not going to show you, but just know they're out there. Ladybugs are also on that type of time. The first ones to hatch will immediately eat the eggs of their unborn siblings. Their first day of life, they stat pad spawn kills. And it's actually the ladybugs that put their own siblings on shirts that develop faster, so nature actually rewards this psychopath behavior. Sea lions are just grizzly bears with a faster swim time. Male sea lions have been seen erasing and eating seal pups for no reason at all. The pup was minding his day-old business, and the male literally had nothing to gain, but he woke up on Casey Anthony time. Why, birds are the spawn of Satan in 60 seconds. The strike will butcher and impale animals and store multiple corpse kebabs like a feathery buffalo bill. This bird, whose name I can't say because of guidelines, will bash open the skulls of birds and bats and eat the brains. The common cuckoo will lay eggs in another bird's nest and use the threat of gang violence to force them to raise her chicks. When the chick hatches, it stat pads homicides by yeeting the other eggs out of the nest. And yes, this is where the word cuck comes from. Ducks are violent and occasionally gang rapists with a silent G and evolved a corkscrew phallus.
I remember I saw that. I saw
brains.
that,
The
like,
common
one of
cuckoo
those,
will lay eggs in
National
another bird's
Geographic
nest. The bird whose name I can't say because of
videos.
guidelines will
That.
bash open the skulls of birds and bats and eat the brains.
Not this one.
The common cuckoo will lay eggs in another bird's nest and use the threat of gang violence to force them to raise her chicks. When the chick hatches, it stat pads homicides by yeeting the other eggs out of the nest. And yes, this is where the word cuck comes from.
Yeah, the still shots right here. I've seen this video, and it's just as like you said, the baby hatched, and it's bigger than the eggs that in the nest that it was actually put in. It pushes the other eggs out and forces this bird, the mom, to raise it, even though it's not his actual mom. It was laid by someone else. Crazy that happens. And the funny part is, like, according to the narrator from that original one, this bird doesn't know any difference. All it knows is that it has an overgrown baby, so it just continues to feed it. So it gets used. Crazy. I remember seeing
Ducks
this
are
actual
violent and
clip.
occasional gang rapists with a silent G and evolved a corkscrew phallus to help them become better sex offenders. Most eagle chicks will straight up abort their younger siblings while their parent watches in sick sadistic pleasure. Magpies are somehow the only thing that can strike fears in the heart of Aussies. If you step in its hood, they'll wage war on your face with devastating results, and they carry grudges. Ostriches and emus have been known to try to flirt and mate with their human caretakers. Penguins are unfaithful, kidnapping necrophiliac feather Weinsteins that'll literally hump anything, including the disembodied frozen head of a dead penguin. And I'm not kidding, it actually happened. A man once took a picture of a cassowary and proceeded to kick him off a cliff. Eagles will cannibalize or straight up abandon and leave their chicks to become a statistic if they think they're a lost cause. Birds are feathery hellspawns that need a morality buff. Birds are feathery air devils part 2. The Marabou Stork is 5 feet tall and has been known to soul strike small children that get too close. Golden eagles will yeet goats off cliffs and make them fall to a terrifying bone-shattering game over and then feed on their mangled corpse. Ducks don't need their date to be alive to get lucky. The Eleanor's falcons will...
Damn, even ducks, no one's safe.
Their date to be alive to get lucky. The Eleanor's falcons will abort the babies of its same species neighbor and then proceed to feed them to its own chicks like a Casey Anthony cannibal. Some songbirds will force their chicks out of the nest before they can fly and even refuse to feed them. And it's not like they can dump them at a state college for 4 years, they just throw them to the real world and hope for the best. The fieldfare will projectile Arby's No. 9 special any animal that gets too close to its nest, and they low-key have aimbot. This liquid-ass salt is corrosive enough to eat at the waterproof coating of birds' feathers and ruin your day. Crows can't tell the difference between a graveyard and a brothel because they conduct themselves in the exact same way. And yes, that is my cute way of saying they violate corpses. Pelicans will shove anything that fits down their gullet, including pigeons, ducks, and a very confused cat. Pelicans have no soul, they're just trash compactors with wings, and you can tell Hank Green I said that. Here are some birds you didn't know could catch bodies. A mute
That bird basically eat anything that will fit in its mouth. Try to eat anything that it thinks will fit in its mouth.
soul, they're just trash compactors with wings, and you can tell Hank Green I said that. Here are some birds you didn't know could catch bodies. A mute swan pulled up on a man in a kayak and pressed him until he fell in the water. The pissed off pond pigeon kept applying pressure until the poor man drowned. I should probably mention that this happened in Chicago. Florida has gators the size of U-Hauls, and Chicago has feathery gangbangers. A man in Thailand was feeding...
Oh my god, that's too funny. For a number of reasons.
A man in Thailand was feeding his 4 peacocks when one of the rainbow chickens snapped and turned on him. It mauled him, and if you're wondering how, this is how. He got faded so badly that the peacock caused a blood clot in his brain, which put him in a coma from which he never woke up from. And zoos just let this homicidal drag turkey walk around unchecked, so it's only a matter of time before history repeats itself. In a country with murder lizards, roid rabbits, and eshays, it's the only physical thing Australians are afraid of. And for good reason, because a magpie once selected violence on a man that was just minding his business on his bike. The flying black Air Force made him crash and hit his head, instantly putting him out. A man working in an illegal chicken fight got murked by one of his fighters. A male chicken, called a cock, had razor blades around his legs and proceeded to fatally vibe check him. Not only did he get put in the paper, he is now forever known as the man that got clapped to death by an angry cock.
Well, no sympathy for that one. You was the one running those fights, and you equipped that damn rooster with a weapon. You had it coming. Oh, I really enjoyed this one. This one was awesome. Let me know if you have any favorites on this list. Which one was your favorite? And comment down below. Don't forget to leave a like before you go. And I will see you guys next time. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And so till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'm out of here.